When I was just a little boy, I asked my father, what will I be? Will I be handsome? Will I be rich? Is what he said to me.
Hello. Welcome to the Religiously Dead podcast, where we devour everything in Frontville. I'm Dawn.
I'm Barb.
I'm Eliza.
And I might be Carol.
So tonight we are so excited to have Elizabeth Saunders and Scott McCord join us again. Welcome, guys.
Hello.
Yeah. Hi.
They are by far our two favoriteest people in the
Yes.
entire world.
That's a good way to start. Always a good way to start.
I'm super
You're our
excited. I'm super excited because I was not on the podcast when Liz was on.
That's
and
right.
I had to send in my video question from sunny San Diego. So
That's right,
I'm
you
so
did.
happy to actually see you.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
And we've got our dolls over here next to us. I think we even Dawn and I've got a Victor doll and a Donna
They're
doll.
bigger than I thought.
Yes.
So great.
So good.
Oh my God, they're so good. I thought they were little.
Jade.
Oh no.
Fantastic.
Elisa, is that the Donna doll?
This one is.
Can I see it? I don't know if I've seen this one. Oh my God.
Oh, it's so
She's
good.
even got her axe.
Yeah.
The thing that is the little jacket is so
I
good.
know.
Oh, it's adorable.
Perfect. It's perfect.
I went with the creature.
That's Fatima's baby.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Nugget.
I'm not allowed to have alcohol.
So how are you guys since are you watching the show?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Holy shit.
It's
Well,
pretty
listen.
good.
Well, yeah. Like, what is?
Even Scott McCord is good in it. Scott McCord. Even Scott McCord, you are good in it.
Oh wow.
Fantastic.
I gotta say, Scott, I've told you, but like that, I told you last week, and then I watched this week. Like, you're just astounding.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, it's Oscar-worthy performances from you guys.
Yes.
Well, Liz Saunders, everyone, give it up.
Yeah, thank you. But you're, oh man, I don't mean to turn it into.
And Cliff, Cliff just got stoned.
I know.
Cliff just got stoned.
Do you know that? Admittedly, I'm missing Cliff in a way. Since that happened, it's actually starting to hit me.
That he's done, like
that he's not there anymore.
That he's behind the stones and
He's behind the stones.
He's just taking a dip, that's all. Well, that brings me to one of my questions for you, Liz.
Yes.
How did you prepare for that, knowing that scene was coming up and he's your husband?
Well, like the same as always, actually. Like, I have to just mentally be like, it's the same as always. Because honestly, if I thought about it being Cliff too hard, I would have laughed.
That's my girl.
Funny something happened to Cliff, but it's just like, it's actually kind of funny to see your partner recreated as an animatronic face,
right,
in a wall. But what was crazy was when I went close to it, and it wasn't the face was fantastic. The whole thing was fantastic.
Yeah.
But it's the fingers in the gloves, and I was like, "That is my husband's." Yeah. Those are my husband's digits. Like, it was crazy.
Wow.
So yeah, I just played it as though, I prepared it the same way I would always prepare it.
Because I imagined like the scene when you're standing there looking at the wall, like you're not actually looking at something. I'm thinking that they're not doing that to make it more emotional for you.
There was some animatronic movement, but then I think they enhanced it.
Mhm.
And also, I'm at quite a distance from it.
Right.
Mhm.
And I don't have my glasses.
He's like, let me run back up to the house and grab my spectacles.
Okay.
I forgot my readers.
Who is that?
Dale, that's this dumbass down there. Exactly.
So, what do you all think from season 2 to season 3 of the popularity of the show now? It's just exploded.
Scott, if you want, like, I don't want to be like, me, Liz is yapping.
You know, I was just thinking, like, I could, and I know everybody else was, I could just sit and listen to Liz all night. Whenever Liz tells a story, I'm just like, oh, Liz is telling this story.
I know, exactly the same.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're all, you know, we're all connecting about it and we're all aware of it. And,
Oh, you are?
and as a matter of
The
fact,
rest of you are connecting? about
what's
it?
that?
You guys are connecting about it?
Oh, sorry, Liz. Yes, you didn't get the email.
You didn't get the memo.
I'll fill you in after.
Oh, thank you.
Cliff says hi. So, you know, it's funny. So today, it's and Liz, you could talk about this too. It's like this, because I'm in New York City here. So, and New Yorkers are kind of great because there's sort of like this dichotomy of like, you kind of get left alone about it, but at the same time, if they want to say something about it, they're just so direct and great about it, you know? And I had 2 occasions today where, and of course, I go to the grocery store to get some groceries, and there's these firemen that come. We have this, you know, they're just down the road here, and they go and pick up their groceries around midday, and I see them in there all the time. And I walked into it, and there's a couple of them, and they were just glaring at me the whole time. And then I see one of them say something, and then one of them reaches in like this and pulls his phone out. And he's looking at me. No, it gets better. This is the best. So I'm kind of like just mowing about the vegetables, and I'm looking for basil like this, and I can feel their eyes on me like this. All of a sudden, this is the best. They go, Scott. And so of course I snap to attention and I go, yes. And they're like, hey, man. So we get into it, and these guys all watch the show, which was great. And then later in the day, I went out for a little stroll on my own or whatever, and I was crossing the street, and I walked past this car full of traffic during rush hour. Intersections full of traffic like this. And as soon as I get to the other side of the road, I got my baseball hat pulled low, and I'm kind of hunched over and, you know, doing my brooding actor thing. And all of a sudden, this woman rolls the window down and goes, hey, Victor!
Oh my God, that's awesome.
I look and she goes, this is great. She's in her car like this. She goes, I'm going home to watch From right now. And I'm like, that's great.
Cool.
Yeah, it's great. People are honking at her. They're like, it's like, I love the show. So it's great. I mean, I feel like that was just today. And I feel like that, you know, with the best part about it for me is that kind of reception, like watching people get so lit about the show, you know. I feel like it's had great success even just in and amongst my circle of friends, you know, like people that have, you know, it may have taken them some time to get on it, but they all got bit.
Yeah.
Dawn was the one that, and Dawn was the one that introduced all of us and all of the camp TWD family to it. So it's all Dawn's fault.
And thank you.
I'll take it.
Yeah, thank you.
And we're angry with her about it for sure.
And of course, we all spread the word thanks to Dawn.
Yeah.
I got a couple of coworkers like, this is fantastic.
Awesome.
So,
Well, I mean, Barb got me a cameo from David, and he said I should be a producer on the show. So I was like, okay.
And speaking of cameos, I think every one of you should get on there. So
Yes, Liz, get on Cameo.
Yeah.
Oh, and you know what? I never even think about things like that.
It's so awesome.
Make money, honey. Make that money. Shake that money maker. Shake that money maker.
It's not even about that. For me, like when I get them, it's such a sweet pleasure to have you guys just talk personally to us. It makes the day. So
Yes.
That's so great. Are
Yeah.
you on Cameo, Scott?
yep.
I've done it. I've done it once, and I did it for Barb from Dawn.
Do you see this, Scott? Do you see this, Scott?
I know you're so pissed off. At least I promise you, it's coming. It's coming.
Don't pop this cherry.
Yeah, cameos are really. It's a really great way to connect with your fans. You can, people will buy like birthday messages or pep talks, and it does. It gives you guys a little, pocket change as well. So
it's good, and you actually have the option. I don't know. I have a thing like I can. So a portion of the monies go to you'll get charity that they list a whole pile of charities you can select from, and then some.
Oh, that's
to so mine's going to a homeless charity.
That's awesome.
That's brilliant.
I think it's it's a good deal.
Right.
Yeah. We had I know that when the hurricane hit a couple of years back down around New Orleans, Corey Payton, that played King Ezekiel on The Walking Dead, he was doing them, and he was doing all of the money went to the hurricane recovery, and he was doing like live video calls with people. So it was a lot of fun, but
Amazing.
it's a great thing for you guys, and we love it. We love it. Yeah.
And we always look out for each other on there for birthdays and holidays and stuff. So it's always a little treat. It's so exciting. Sometimes we don't even expect it. We should expect it by now. We don't. We tricked on every time.
So Liz, you should know that these ladies, bless them, and I love them. They put on. There's pressure. They started putting on the pressure for me to join. They're like, I was getting these messages every now and then. You should get on Cameo. We're waiting.
But you're on Cameo, but it doesn't say book. So what's going on?
Exactly. Get with Scott. He'll tell you how to get all hooked up with it, and we'll be the first ones to buy it.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah, you'll probably get sick of hearing from us because Eliza will buy one, I'll buy one, Don will buy one, Barb will buy one. You guys will just be doing cameos for us.
Okay, I go. I just didn't even dawn on me. Didn't dawn on me.
A lot of people don't know about it, and we got to get Harold on board too, because I would just be repeating that all night long.
Yeah.
She wants to be Harold's Hall Pass.
Sorry, cut out there.
I can't believe you just said that. I'm going to come over there in Arkansas and beat you, woman.
But no. So what about you, Liz? Are you getting a lot of recognition when you're out and about or out and about?
Oot and a boot? No. I mean, I haven't been getting oot and a boot too much. No, little bits here and there. But no, I think because we're so spread out in Canada, like, and I actually haven't been out a lot in Toronto. But no, I don't. There was like one lady where I'm up working in North Bay, which is a pretty small center. And I did have one morning as I was getting into the car to go back to Toronto, this woman went.
Well, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Well,
I want to ask a question. I'm going to put you all on the spot. So if you could go home on the show, but you had to sacrifice one of your cast members, and it has to be the main cast. It can't be a side character or somebody that's already passed. But which one would you sacrifice for everyone to go home?
Liz.
I knew it.
Donna.
You said that because she's frozen. You said that because she's frozen.
Look. What happened? I didn't know. Did I freeze and nobody else did?
No,
Donald. He's one of the characters at the Colony House. You haven't met him yet. Donald.
So did you hear the question, Liz?
No, because it literally all of everything just went black and circles.
Oh my God, the timing on that was perfect.
All right, no idea when it ended, and I finally went, I'm going to turn my camera off in case it's just me going, what's going on?
And Scott, I knew that was going to happen.
Okay, all right, Dawn, so you shoot that question again.
Okay, so you have to sacrifice one of your cast members in Fromville so you all can go home. Who would it be? And it can't be a side character, and it can't be someone that's already passed.
Who would I? Did you answer this, Scott?
Yeah,
I did, but I think
you should. Donna.
So
what did you say, Scott?
for the funny haha moment, I came right in before the question was practically even finished, and I go, Donna, like this, and all of a sudden you're screaming.
She's out.
Well, I'll be more honest, actually, and I would Victor.
Victor?
No, I wouldn't. No, not Victor.
Yeah, not Donna either. I don't want Donna.
No.
We need each other.
Oh God, that's hard. Who would I sacrifice? I don't know.
You all get
Probably
to go
Jay
back
because he
home.
gets under your skin.
Oh, but Donna would sacrifice Jade. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if that would be my pick. I don't know if that would be my pick. Oh God, we'll be here all night if I have to make it.
Liz is back in her fuck moment.
I'm not good with like pick a thing. Like pick a favorite. I'm always like, oh, I can't possibly.
Yeah, I hear you. It's hard. Yeah.
Well, back to the emotional moment. This one's for Victor. How did you prepare for your reuniting with your dad?
That was, I mean, so that was, it was interesting because Henry was introduced at the beginning of the season, of course, and I didn't know that was, none of us, again, like we know what's happening from, any arc of the season. We don't know any of it. So if those first scripts landed, and I thought, I wonder if I'm going to meet my dad this season. And it came a lot sooner than I thought because they wound up in town in episode 4. They were back. And then I thought, I wonder if he's going to mull about town for a few episodes. And then that'll be like a season closer thing or something. And all of a sudden 5 came and it's like, nope, it's happening.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, that was, I had my own homework. Liz was actually there the day that I was hoping that would be our first scene together, so that we had that, that beauty of just really meeting each other for the first time.
Right.
It would have been a good scene if that had happened.
What's that?
It would have been a good scene if that had happened.
Right.
Yeah, it would have.
Joking. It was really, really, really good.
I'm going to go back and say that Donna would be my choice to go first if I had to pick something. But Liz was there when I had to do one scene prior to shooting that scene, and so and Liz was there when I met him. I was so nervous. I really was. It was so great. And Robert, of course, has this long history, and we know him in Canada. Canadian, and he anyway. I never worked with him before, certainly, or anything, and so we had a few words, and then we went and actually shot. The first scene that we shot was the one that just aired where I come in the room and he's looking at the car and I tell the story, right? And then I'm about to go to the caves and he comes with me. So that was kind of a neat one to start with.
Okay.
But then he and I just sort of agreed that we wouldn't connect on the meeting scene. We would just see each other on the day. What's beautiful about that scene is that it's just 2 lines of dialogue. It's just him saying my name and then me saying, I didn't know how to get home. And it was, and we had it was a Friday. I remember really well. Like I did. So anyways, I did the homework that I had to do to try and, to just go in and find whatever it was that I could get as close to that of what that would be, that lifetime loss, that, and also with Victor, I think I've been talking about this, the press junket and stuff was about this guilt. And I think this thing that's been happening with Victor all season anyways, which was, him starting to really, it wasn't there in the script, but it was something that I was working with about this idea where once Chen Chen died, I was starting to play with this thing of like, did I do all this? Am I the reason that all this, like I went and get the valise and then I go to Sarah and open it up and try and get into these memories. And so Victor's got a plight. I mean, I have my thing now, my journey. When Henry arrives, there's a thing that became very clear to me where when we got together in that scene for the first time, that what I really felt was all this guilt about how I failed him. in some way. That was the big thing. That was, well, truthfully, that was, you know, that was something that I was working on my own, but then on the day that really came up, you know, I saw him. And Robert is such a, Liz will attest to, he's such a beautiful, generous actor.
Yeah. Person.
Amazing person. And he's very present there. And it just, you know, it was kind of that one of those things where I just knew, and I knew he was, I knew he would just arrive with everything. And so I just did all the work I could and then got there that day and let it all go. And then of course, just saw what Lexi, our director, Alexandra, had set up. And then we shot that thing. It was a pretty cold day. I remember that. And we shot that scene for about, I want to say for about almost 5 hours.
Wow.
They covered it a lot. You know, there were 2 cameras going, but they, you know, they did it kind of a bigger aerial kind of a shot, and they were doing different versions of it. And we shot it sort of in pieces, which was neat, so that when it came time to come in and actually be close with each other and do the hug, that was like almost its own filmed little sequence. As opposed to doing the whole, like us walking in every time and seeing it every time and hugging each time. And so it was this, there was I think a lot of anxiety about it too, about getting to that moment. And then I felt like it was a lot like what's there every time. I felt like, but always a little different, you know, or he would say my name differently or something, you know, he would touch me a little differently or, you know, it was beautiful working with him on, it felt really alive and it felt just so loaded with all this.
We watched that episode, me and Dawn, when we were in Lexington, Kentucky in the hotel room. And I saw that moment. I went, oh, it's happening. So it's like one of my favorite scenes. It's absolutely beautiful. Well done.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. It's a beautiful.
For you and Liz both, I think this season has really catapulted the acting of you two. I mean, what you guys have done in season 1 and 2 has been just brilliant. But you see this raw emotion coming out of your characters that is showing that vulnerability, especially with Donna, who has been the ass kicker matriarch of Colony House, the protector. And you see now the phrase on the outskirts of her and the unraveling, and yet still trying to maintain that sense of I'm still here as your protector. And it's just beautiful, and it's brilliant acting on both of you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Liz has there's a great scene, you know, a couple episodes back where she falls into Boyd's arms and says, I'm so scared.
Yeah. It was great.
So, I mean, Liz is, I mean, yeah, I could talk about Liz all night. And Harold, of course, too, you know, coming in the way that he did. And that to me is a really monumental moment in terms of the storytelling, because that's the thing that to me, I feel there's something really gratifying about watching that, because that's how I think people, or I would feel, you know, if us would be at a certain point, right? Where this, you know, this start, like what's really interesting is that there was these more kind of bigger moments, milestone emotional moments for the characters. They're going to continue as well, where we're starting to really, like you're saying, see the phrase of it all, or it's cracking open. Like the other one was for me early on when I blasted Ethan. It was a really short little scene.
Yeah.
But there was a significance to it that Jack Bender, who directed that episode that he and I talked about it, where it's like, you know, he came to me at one point and he goes, this is something that we haven't seen before, like from Victor, but we're going to, you know, this is what's starting to happen. And then John Griffin later was saying that, like, it's in there. It's implemented in what he's writing. But that is my favorite stuff out of all of it that I'm watching. When I see the humanity, when I see those moments, you know, there was a scene the other night too, where, God, I loved it. Catalina and where Tabitha and Jim got into it. They had a fight.
Yeah.
And you could see that moment. I think she smacks his hand or something. Where you can see, like, to me, like that's what it would be. That fight was supposed to happen forever. You know, it's just, it's supposed to happen. And I think that I'm really excited to see where it goes now. I'm sure Liz feels the same way. Like,
Well,
Oh,
Liz,
yeah.
do you feel like in a way that you know, you guys know going forward, we're kind of still stuck at, I think, what, episode 5 or 6. Do you feel like what we're seeing now with these breaks in Donna's resolve, that it's actually going to make her stronger for her community?
I don't have a lot, like, I don't have a huge amount of insight into that. Because I think it is, like, I think because she's in the crack, like, she's cracking, but she's so pragmatic that she keeps going, coming back and dealing with it.
Yeah.
So for me, I don't yet know when she hits the point. It looks like she's hit the point a few times now, like that's
right.
Boyd, where you're like, oh, she's cracked, oh, and then she's back. So I don't have enough insight yet to know when we're gonna see what direction she goes.
Okay. I think that's good, because I think it's showing, we've been so focused on showing the resolve of these characters that seeing the fallibility within them, like you said, the fight with Catalina and Eon, and then you know, your character Donna showing her breaks, and now we're really starting to see Victor pulling out of his shadow, I guess you could say, and into his memories. So I think it's really showing the development of some really good character.
Yeah, I think that's going to really, like, again, I think that's the other part of it. Like you're saying, is that there's such clear character development.
That is what's really interesting about this season for me, just to watch it, because, like, I don't remember much. Months later, I'm like, oh, that was the scene. Not like the stuff I've done, I know it's there, but I've forgotten from reading the script. And then there's all the magic that's added into it, with, you know, mise en scène and lighting and everything. And I'm sort of like, oh, that's completely new to me. And that's very exciting for me to see, like, so many people, like, I'm seeing it in so many of the characters.
Right.
Yes.
Especially when you get to Donna and Boyd's relationship, because one of my favorite scenes that was absolutely fantastic was in this season when Boyd comes back to Colony House with the cop, and Tabitha has come back and everything. And Boyd comes back to Colony House and he starts yelling at the cop, and Donna's like, get upstairs now, you know, and then they go upstairs and instantly Donna broke me. You know, because I mean, and it was just a matter of just one scene. She's this strong, take charge, get your ass upstairs, we need to talk. And then as soon as she's behind doors, she knows that she's safe with Boyd and she can crack. She can show him that weakness. And, you know, and that scene was so powerful to me, because it just shows that even though a woman is in a leadership role, she still has the stuff that she's fighting for. You know? And
she's still vulnerable. And I mean, the nerves are frayed. And I mean, and Boyd is, I think she wants Boyd, like, their relationship is such, she's so frustrated with his decisions. But I think, in a way, someone said, who is Donna's closest friend, and whether Donna admits it or not,
it's
I think
Boyd.
it's Boyd. It's become Boyd.
And
so I think it's that thing when it's like life is falling apart, and then your friend keeps fucking up, and you're seeing that your friend is so fallible, like not weak, fallible. They're making big missteps, and I think that shakes the ground. And then you don't really know, like, I think Donna doesn't, like, nobody really knows how to deal with anything there.
So for you guys, and it may not have even happened yet, what was probably the most difficult emotional scene that you've done? And it could be And if it's one that's that hasn't happened yet, then we won't, press for an answer. But if it's something that has happened, I was just curious what you felt was the most emotional that you've done.
I mean, for me,
Mhm.
like overall emotionally and the build on things, there's been various scenes that I found harder. That's that breakdown scene because it was so fast. It's such a tiny scene. And I'm not an actor who can drum tears up like that. Like I can't. And I was like, I consciously know I don't need to have tears, but that I have to have this breakdown. Like walk through a door and have a breakdown.
Right.
Like I don't get a build. And I was terrified about that. Like I was like, this is gonna, and I mean, even after we shot it, I was like, oh no. Oh no, this is gonna be my downfall. People are gonna see how bad I am.
Oh no.
And it was crazy because Jack literally, I think we shot it like we did a rehearsal and then we shot it and I thought we were gonna do it again and Jack went, okay, moving on.
Oh, wow. Okay. So that was a one and done. That's
it
great.
was a one and done. And I truly I was, actor head was going, oh, Jack knows that he can't get anything out of you. He's giving up.
No.
But I found that was something I found it uncomfortably vulnerable. Not emotionally as a person, but it's silly, but it's honest. It is that pride as an actor that you've failed to do a scene.
Right. What about
then I saw it and I was like, no, it works.
Yeah, it was great. It was great. What about for you, Scott?
I mean, it's funny. Liz just made me think of something that sometimes, it's true. Like the more challenging ones can be something where it's a really loaded moment, but it just sort of happens really quickly, or it's just, it's on one little word or a line of dialogue that's got to, you got to.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say it's hard. I can't talk about it. There's some stuff coming up.
Okay.
For me that kind of that was just, I would say was definitely newer territory for me, and it was challenging in a really great way, in a really terrifying way. It's sort of hard to talk about. I know it's
and we don't want to. Yeah.
No. Just to draw a line back to the idea of character development, what I loved about it was that, again, like I didn't see this coming, and then when it was sort of introduced, that like, oh, this is where it's going to go for Victor next. When I saw that script, I thought, oh my God, this is, it's great. Like, it's sort of tied into that thing that we've been talking about like, this makes sense that this is the way it would go, that this behavior, this thing that's manifesting, this thing that's cracking open, like this is going to start pulling these people apart. We're going to start seeing things from them that we haven't seen before.
Cool. Good.
And it's very exciting, but it can be scary as well.
Yeah. Well, we love you guys. I mean, if either of your characters die, we're done.
Right. Now, I know that this is one relationship that Barb particularly loves.
Yeah. And I would like to know what you think, Scott, of that relationship.
I loved it. I knew Avery from around a little bit, but I didn't know her that well, and I would have never. I mean, in terms of just the trajectories of all the characters and the storylines and the relationships, especially with Victor, because they're pretty limited to a few people, Victor isn't that social, that was I loved it, and I loved the whole idea of the building of forts. I love the idea of I love the idea of that idea that Victor had to go back to a house that was familiar, that had a story about his sister attached to it. So immediately, it was all sister vibes,
right?
And bless, Liz, Avery is a really wonderful human being, and she's actually and so different than her character. She's actually very, very funny.
Yeah.
So we doing those scenes in that, you know, in the forward, we were actually, there were times we were just killing ourselves laughing. We had like the best time. And it was a great way to get to know each other and form that brother sister bond, and that really came through in that scene of the photo that you brought up there, of that scene where, you know, she finds me in the car junkyard. That particular moment that's in the shot there, that wasn't in the script. So the scene ended. The scene ended with her sitting beside me, and the two of us, I think, was just the idea is that we were just going to stare out. I mean, whatever. The scene was going to button with her just sitting down beside me, and us giving each other what each other needs in that particular moment. And yeah, and on one of the takes, I mean, I was just feeling, you know, just so connected, and there was some kind of there was a great thing going on with us in this moment that I just felt totally compelled to. You know, they just kept rolling, and so I just slowly slid over to her and crawled into her shoulder, and Avery just sort of took it, and I know we did that a couple of times, and anyways, I'm really happy that they used it, because I think it gave that relationship. I think that to me is a really defining.
Yeah.
That was like a game changer for me in that relationship. That was perfect. I mean, I absolutely, and I told the girls, I absolutely love the connection between you two.
Yeah, it's neat, you know, because they're connected in all these kind of interesting ways, like the boy in white, for instance, you know, that's the ways that they've connected.
Yeah.
And also, and then this idea that Victor's going to go there and do this with her because she's the scariest person in town, so anything scary won't scare her.
Right.
Yeah.
And if Victor can sit next to her, the scariest, then he too can get through anything.
Yeah. It's like it's all there, and that's again, that's a brilliant mind, John. And then
Carol, you had a crazy question that has been circulating everywhere for Liz.
Yes. So I don't know if you guys realize it or not, but From has created, or we perceive there's a camp that says they have, there's a camp that says they haven't. And that's a perceived Mandela effect of a scene of Donna and her sister arriving in town.
Yeah.
Now, I do not believe that scene was ever shown, but there are a lot of people that do. And so I am asking you, Liz Saunders, on live, can you say whether or not that scene was ever shot and shown?
This just came to my attention the other day. I didn't know that this was going on, and so I asked about it, and I found out about it. It's never been shown.
Thank you.
Because it's never been shot.
Exactly. Yes.
It doesn't exist. Does not exist.
Yeah.
I'm so happy.
And I think it was just such a detailed story that you gave that we created that in our head, the visual of it. You know, it's like listening to NPR radio and radio's audio stories. You create those images in your head.
Yeah.
Even like Jackie Rogers said, I saw it. So she's like, I saw that. And it's like, no, it never was a scene that was shot.
And I think it's the combination of the story, and I think the fact that picture is occasionally referred to. So people have a picture of me and my sister in our hunting gear.
Right.
And I think that is also played into it, that people have a visual of this woman who's my sister, and then they have the story.
Yeah.
And so they put it together. Yeah. Excuse me.
Bless you. So one of our audience members and Patreons, Pamela Blythe, she said, I'm just happy that someone finally asked, where's the motel? Where's the damn motel?
Where is the motel? I know.
Oh my goodness.
I'm sure we'll learn. I'm sure that is something that's coming down the pipe.
I think it must be now that now that the question's been asked.
Yeah.
Feels like trouble. Feels like trouble. What's going on, everybody?
No trouble in this room. There's never any trouble in this room.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, right.
Yeah, not us. Not us.
Hey, Liz. Hey, Scott.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. I was in traffic. I had to pull over at McDonald's.
Don't go there.
Yeah.
No, I had to stop somewhere because I wasn't gonna make it home. So
Is Donald Trump serving?
yeah, he's right. Oh my God, he's right there.
Don't get the quarter pounder.
Quarter pounder.
Exactly. Yeah. He's handing out quarter pounds with lots of onions.
Right.
Well, Harold, while we have you on, we ladies are getting ready to do a live tasting of Sable.
Ooh, look at that. Everybody's got a bottle.
Everybody's got a bottle.
That's quick. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so this is we're doing our first tasting of Sable.
Nice.
That Harold Perrineau's blend. Barb cheated. We've actually tried it already, but we're going to do it on air and live.
I could actually see that. So
Cheers.
cheers.
Mm-hmm.
Cheers. Some gum in my car.
It's yummy.
There's definitely a chocolate taste, kind of a chocolatey mocha chocolatey taste.
Mhm.
It's got a good little
Kick to
afterburn,
it.
little
Yep.
burn.
It's got a really good aftertaste, like the longer it sits there.
A little bit of at the end of it there.
Yeah.
Got it. Nice,
A
nice.
little sweet, a little bit of a sweetness to it.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
Like Scott before. Really, a little bit of a bite, but really sweet.
Yes.
It's heavier on the rye blend than the wheat blend.
Yes.
He didn't even hear me. Scott, did you not hear me?
No.
No. I said it tastes kind of like you. A little bit of hot at the end, but sweet all around.
There we go.
This is really good.
Nice. I'm glad you got like it. Thank you for tasting it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's got a great aftertaste, like Dawn was saying, and it's very smooth on the tongue.
No, yeah.
And
That's
it's
I'd be happy to taste it for you too, and give my approval, stamp of approval.
Liz, you're gonna have to come to California and so you can taste it.
What's that?
You're gonna have to come to California.
Oh, okay. I'll come over next week.
Okay, bet.
Liz, I would send you a bottle, but I'm afraid Customs and Immigration would come
Exactly.
looking for me for bootlegging.
You got to get Cliff out of that wall.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bring him on by.
I'm gonna leave him there for just a little bit, though.
That's really cruel.
Kind of leave him on ice. Leave him on ice.
I can't look.
I'm not drinking during the week, and then all of a sudden I'm like, enjoying this.
Yeah.
I can't look at it.
Let's go.
You can't look at Cliff in the wall.
I can't. No.
No. I think you were more I think you were more affected by Cliff in the Wall than I was.
I've been pretty affected. I have that thing like when you see like holes or things sprouting out, it really bothers me. Yeah, see?
No, you know what? There's little holes, like lots of little holes in something.
Yeah.
There's a name for it. I forget what it is. I've got it. I just like even talking about.
So I guess y'all don't like Swiss cheese then, I guess.
No, that's spread out enough.
Yeah, spread out enough. Yeah.
But like if there's lots of little tiny holes in something, like just talking about it, like I'm gonna go shut up because I've actually disturbed myself.
Oh no!
I can't do it.
All right,
That's terrible.
subject. We got to talk to Harold about the cameos. We got to
Yeah,
get
Cameos too.
Yes.
The cameos?
they're personal videos, and they're amazing. And Dawn has gotten me Scott, and Scott was his very first one to me. And it's just, if it's a birthday, a holiday, or you're just saying something, it's a little bit something for you guys to make a little bit more money. And like Scott was saying, he gives back to charity too. A little bit portion of that goes to.
Yeah.
But to receive those from you guys and the people that we adore is just, it makes our day.
And
Wow. Okay.
David's on there and Scott's on there, and we're trying to get Liz hooked up. But
And if you're on
yeah,
there, I'd order one from you every day.
yeah, the four of us could make y'all's retirement with Cameo.
Yeah, just something to look into.
That's funny.
Yeah, because everybody in the comments is saying something about cameos too.
Yeah,
Scott
Scott can tell y'all how to get on Cameo because we eat that shit up.
Yeah.
Hey Scott, have you done a lot of them?
What's that?
Have you done lots of them?
I haven't. I did one for these guys. They were twisting my arm. They were like, "You got to do it. You got to do it."
I think we have bought. I think Don and Barb have bought like 4 or 5 from David Alpay already.
David's done a bunch.
Yeah,
Bless you guys.
Now they get them from Dave, and he's like, "Oh, it's you again," you know.
The ping pong ball.
The ping pong ball. I keep going back and forth between Dawn and Barb. But yeah, they make our day, and you guys are just the sweetest. So that would be beautiful.
Okay, I'll think about it some more.
Yeah, I want to speak for all the girls and for everybody in the audience, and I have to tell you guys, you know, we started out as a Walking Dead, podcast, but when Dawn introduced us to From, we just fell stupid head over heels. The 3 of you, we love, we respect, we adore, we have fun. We can't wait to see you guys, and I'll be damned if I don't hunt those guys down if anything happens to y'all. I mean, you gotta make it to the end. But we love you and we appreciate you guys so much for being with us always.
No.
Well, thank you guys.
We're honored to have you back on.
Yes.
All of us have done this once before, right?
Yeah.
And so, and you guys, have you guys met Scott and Liz in person yet?
No.
Oh, wait till you meet these guys. Huggers.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, my life.
Get away from me, Liz. Get away.
Yeah. My bucket list.
Training order from.
Yeah, and my bucket list consists of you 3.
Yes.
Nice. You guys are sweet, man.
Yeah.
You're
great.
So, hey, well, I want you guys to keep talking, but I'm going to get out of here because it's going to get dark.
Okay.
All right. Thank you for coming on.
Hey, I'm sorry I wasn't home. We could have kept this thing going all night. But
no. Thank you. Thank you for being with us.
I love you guys. Thank you always for showing us so much love. Yeah. Scotty, you're crushing it. Liz, you're crushing it. I haven't talked to you guys personally.
As always.
I love you guys.
I love you.
Thanks for
popping. Bye.
Bye. Pounder.
And that goes back to say the writing is fantastic in this series, but the portrayal of characters that you all do is just amazing, and you emotionally connect with those characters. And I think that's why we all connect with those characters.
Yeah.
And it's just so, I just can't even explain. You're all just wonderful. You all do a fabulous job of what you do.
Right.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much.
I have to say I am a little worried and I'm a little concerned because when Dawn and Barb watched the episode in Lexington, I was asleep in the next bed over and immediately woke up at about 6 o'clock in the morning and turned the episode on because I heard Dawn and Barb talking at midnight. So I knew that the show was, the episode was phenomenal. So I immediately started watching. And at the end, I didn't even realize, I knew that Dale had gone through the tree.
Yeah.
But when Boyd is standing by the bus and he hears screaming and he goes running towards the pool, it did not connect with my brain until finally he gets to the pool and he's looking down and I went, oh shit. And I thought in my brain that Dale was maybe impaled in the mysterious truck that's at the bottom of the pool. When the camera when it spun around and it showed Dale in the side of the pool, I have to be honest, I'm probably one of the twisted motherfuckers that is on this podcast. I laughed out loud.
It was
She did. She did.
I laughed out loud and went, "Oh shit!" And I started laughing. And so that's why I am really, really fearful for Donna and Victor, because I know that if these writers will write shit like that,
Yeah.
there is no telling what is going to come out of these brains.
So creative.
Yeah.
And I am 100% for it.
Well, Liz, what did Cliff think? What did Cliff think?
Oh, I mean, like Cliff always figured he would go. Like he's like, I get it. I get an episode. I get 2. Oh, I got 3. Oh, I got 5. This is great. But he thought there's a really good chance I'll go and I won't be. And then he got that. Well, they told him he was gonna get killed off, and then he got the episode, and he was like, "Oh, this is a great way to go." And he was like, "This is so great."
Yeah.
And it is
quite different than being mauled by a monster. Yeah,
exactly.
I have to say, we talk about the Walking Dead deaths. That was iconic.
Yes.
By far iconic.
Yeah, it's great. Like it sort of opened up this whole like any fucking thing can happen.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like, because who thinks up getting stuck in a pool wall?
I know. What kind of brain comes up with that?
No.
It
I
was
know.
just-
I was just, and Patrick Baxter, who's head of all the monsters and stuff, and the work they did to make that so good. Like it looked so great. Like up close, it looked great.
Do you know how many people were hoping that when they did the ultrasound on Fatima that we saw like this smiley?
Yeah.
Reincarnated, that we could see Smiley's face.
Yeah. That was great. I just love that swimming pool. I'm sorry, the swimming pool scene just kills me. I just think it's so fantastic and so iconic. And I'm so glad that Dale got that death. Because I'm the person where in TWD, when Glenn got his comic book death, I was all for it. I was 100% behind it, loved it, thought it was fantastic. Yeah. And then I don't know how they're going to top that, but I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be great.
Yeah. I mean, what was it, Dawn, that you said when Randall that had that smile on his face when Boyd was sitting there? You were like, "Oh, is that the new Smiley?" She said, "New Smiley?"
Yeah.
Well, all of the gore and the emotional stuff. Do you guys have any behind the scenes fun things, pranks that you do, or mishaps that you could tell?
I don't know. Like maybe Scott's experience is different than my own.
Yeah, I don't know.
But it's kind of a fairly ceaseless laugh backstage. Like like when we're off and we're waiting for setups, like there's always someone in the room that come. Nathan and is hysterical. Like his brain is just hysterically weird. No. But at the same time, people are really respectful. Like they'll, people will go off on their own, and but, yeah, I don't know about mishap, but we laugh a lot.
Yeah, you almost have to, because it's such an intense show, and every scene is intense that you have to have levity in between, or you'll go crazy, I'm sure.
And I think, we all have different ways of coping. Like that's also personally a way of coping for me. Like that part of like, I need to sort of, if I get too interior, I will start to doubt myself. So I sort of have to keep out a bit to keep free to be Donna.
So you have no practical jokers or pranksters on set?
Oh no, that's what I mean. Like like the list goes on.
Oh, okay.
Not in terms of pranks, but in terms of just like, there's a lot of jokers in this cast.
Yep.
So do we know if there's going to be a season 4, or do we know when we're going to know, or?
We do not know anything.
Nothing.
So who do we need to call? I'm really hoping that, I don't know, that a larger streaming service picks you guys up so that you have a broader reach, because it's just blowing out of the water fantastic. And we will riot all the way to Halifax if we have to, if they don't renew and keep this going. They can't just leave us with Dale in the pool.
No, that would be a bad note to end on.
Yeah,
exactly.
We'll just buy all the cameos. We'll be fine.
Yeah, we'll just order cameos.
Wow.
I know you guys.
No, yeah, that's all. I think it's too early to know. We never know at this point.
Yeah.
So, well, hopefully they realize that, you guys have done for MGM what Walking Dead did for AMC, and you have catapulted it to a whole different level now.
Mm-hmm.
And you are in demand. Your fans want to see you and meet you. And
see, I think being in Canada, I have less of a sense. I do have less of a sense of that. Like, I see it on Instagram and social media, but like being in Canada, I don't have a good sense of it.
Yeah.
Actually, there was a story the other day that I had phoned Cortion about something, and he was like, just coming down in the elevator, and he gets off the elevator, and we're talking on the phone, and suddenly I hear, and he's like, yeah, thanks, man. And then I goes, actually, I'm talking to Donna right now. And it was fans going like, we love the show, and I was like, so I've had more experience with that.
Cortion, like Ricky. Ricky said the same thing, where he didn't get recognized at all until he went to the gym with Cortion, and as soon as
I always get noticed when I look like complete crap. That's what I'm like, oh, no bra, big ass old t-shirt and sweatpants, no makeup. You Donna?
Can I get a photo with you? Yeah.
Yes, I am. I'm Donna. Yes. Thank you.
Well, we're hoping that one day we can meet you and give you the love and aderation and purpose in person that you guys also rightly deserve, and that we want to shower you with.
Now we just expect that showering of love that we're going to give you guys.
Yes,
for sure.
Can't wait.
Girls, do we want to do new questions? Since we've already done the James Lipton questions with y'all, we came up with some new stumpers for y'all.
Really?
Okay.
Liz has to prepare.
So let's let our fearless leader start off.
Me? Okay. I usually don't go first. I was like caught off guard. Okay, so if you could bring any character from any TV series to Fromville, who would it be?
Oh, for any character from any TV series.
No, it cannot be the Great Gazoo.
Oh, stop! I was thinking maybe dumb. I think the Great Gazoo would be funny on. Oh God. I'm gonna think. Scott, who would you bring on?
Jack Tripper.
Yes.
Oh my God, yes.
Okay.
I don't know. He just popped in my head. He was a fave of mine when I was, he still is. But I'd love to see him kind of, stumbling around the town.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Do they have to be alive? I was just like, do they have to be alive?
No, they don't have to be alive.
Clearly, not.
Apparently not.
I think I'd like to see Jennifer Coolidge.
Oh my God!
In any role that she's done, yes.
Just to like the one at
Hey,
I just met him yesterday.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Oh, is he? I you know what? I love him in Barry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I just love him in Barry. What's his? I forget his character's name, but I love him in that. Yeah, the more absurd, the better. I think.
Okay. All right. Jennifer Coolidge would be hilarious.
Yeah.
Okay. What else, Dawn?
So if you're in your car driving and a certain song comes on that you love and that you scream out loud while you're in the car singing, what song is that? So you have to sing along and scream at the top of your lungs.
Scream at the time.
Hey, Sarah, no.
There's so many songs that I would be like that with.
I know. Yeah, it's so true.
But Kelsey's watching, so Kelsey may be able to answer that one for Scott.
She writes it. Oh no. Songs that we.
Way to go, John.
I know I must have it. You know what? I know one of mine, and it's not really a screamer, but I always have to sing it. I have two, actually, that I always have to sing. Okay. And one is Only You by Yazoo.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one is The Ballad of Lucy Jordan. Like, you know, they're hardly like, woo!
Yeah.
I always have to crank those and sing along.
That's fantastic.
Awesome singer.
Scott.
I'm trying to think of something I have to bellow. I'm a sucker for. I mean, I like everything, and I'm such a sucker for AC/DC. So, and if AC/DC comes on, that just has. Now, I'm not saying I try and sing that. That's a harder thing to sing, the top of the range. But that definitely gets louder in the car. I can say that. There are songs that I think that I just can't not sing. Like one that actually popped into my head. I know Kelsey's watching right now, so she'll agree. My Life by Billy Joel. How can you not sing that?
Yeah.
I don't care what you say
anymore. This is my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's not a screamer.
No, I'm just saying you're screaming along. You know how you just scream really loud?
You have to listen to the whole song.
Yeah.
Barb?
Okay. What is the dumbest way you have injured yourself? That's not a good one. I can see it now.
I'm gonna guess that I'm gonna make a gender comment here, but I have a feeling the man is gonna win on this.
Really? I don't know. Have you got one, Liz? Do you have one?
I don't really have a dumb way I've injured myself. I don't believe I have.
I mean, I injure myself all the time, but I'm just trying to.
Like I said, I proved my point.
See, I've got some stories, but I can't tell them here.
Oh, sure you can.
No.
Why the hell not?
No.
Oh, no. You told us what your favorite curse phrase was.
I did indeed. You made a shirt of it. Yeah.
What is it?
It was an expression that I was in a band years ago, and one of the guys said it, and it stuck with me forever. And it comes out at the best and worst of times, as they do. And it's "fuck me in the mouth."
Yes.
See, Liz likes that one.
Yeah, I do, because that goes along with "fuck me running."
Yeah, fuck me running. I do that one a lot.
Fell down the stairs before performing a play.
Say that again.
Kelsey said that Scott fell down the stairs before performing a play.
Yes. So okay. Well, this is not, and this is this is a story. So it was. You all can appreciate this, and certainly Liz is, being a fellow actor, will certainly appreciate this. I had rehearsed this play, this very, very dark piece that we were doing. I believe Liz in Toronto at the Alumni Theater.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's there anymore.
Yeah, it is.
Is it still? And actually, the whole gang of people that Liz would probably know. Anyway, Brendan Wall, all these people, and we finished a rehearsal one night, and we were about to literally, I think we were going to preview. I think we had done what is called your tech rehearsal, which is, it's like a 12-hour day. It's ridiculous. You're just there forever. and then you do a run of the play at the end of the day, and everybody burns himself out and the whole thing. But it can go any number of ways. But anyways, we left. And I was one of the last to leave the theater, and I decided to go out a different way because it was late at night, and I went into a darkened stairwell, and I could see the red exit sign. I was in black, so the door shut behind the first door shut, and I saw the red exit sign. So I'm like, well, that's where I walk. Little did I know there were 15 concrete steps in front of me that led down to the concrete platform that then the door was at. And that's where I was walking right into an exit sign that was right at my eye level, like this, going, oh, there's the exit. And I went, phew, and I fell down these stairs. Of course, most of the people had left. Nobody heard the screaming for the next 12 minutes while I was lying on this platform in the dark. And I didn't have any way of getting a hold of anybody. Anyway, I managed to kick this door open, and then I dragged myself onto the sidewalk, and I think I called myself a cab or something. Everybody had gone and left the theater. And you know, you do that thing where you go, I'm not going to go to the hospital. I'm fine. I have a show to do tomorrow night. We're going to preview. I'm fine. I don't have to call the producers. I'm good. Good. And I got home, and you know, it was one of those falls that in the end, like, I was very, very lucky. But I had the ankle, where your ankle goes, you go over. Anyway, it was a huge, massive sprain and hairline fracture. So I got home, and then I sat there and put the TV on, and I'm like, I'm good. It hurts a lot, and I'm going to ice it, but I'm going to be fine. And then, the ankle swelled up to like the size of a, grapefruit or something. And I'm like, oh man. So I called the producer. Anyway, I ended up doing the preview and the opening, I think, on crutches.
Nice.
But we got through it. We did it. Yeah. So, just, I don't know. What's the moral of the story? Don't go in. If you go into a darkened stairwell, I don't know.
If you know it's a stairwell, though, Scott.
I did know it was a stairwell. I know. It was
there's like a good chance.
It's a good chance.
You're going down.
You're going down. I did. Oh, I went down. I went down. So I guess that would, I guess you could say that was a stupid way of hurting oneself, and the timing couldn't have been better. Right before your show opens. Yeah.
This one might be a little bit easier. Which celebrity would you like to meet that you have not met? Kind of like a bucket list type person.
Uh-oh. Donna's going to cuss, or Liz is going to cuss again.
No, I'm not.
No, I'm not.
I'm not.
You know who mine is? David Alpay. I'm hoping one day I'll get the opportunity. He doesn't really pay me very much attention, but one day I know we're going to be friends.
Not fair.
We'll be besties.
Who's David Alpay? Is he an actor? What would I know?
Or actress? How's that?
Okay, mine I think could be Judi Dench.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And then
you wanted her. Yeah,
and
you wanted her at your dinner party.
Uh-huh.
I did. I do rather like her.
Absolutely.
All right, Scott. Come on.
That's a good one. I mean, the first thing that popped into my mind was Al Pacino, because he's just been. I mean, he's the champ for me, and certainly one of my favorite actors. And he's also, as I mentioned to you guys, I'm part of the Actors Studio in New York here.
Mm-hmm.
Co-president of, and he has been by and moderated at times, and he hasn't been by in a while, but that's one that I dream of. Although it's an interesting thing, and I mean, this is we were just talking about getting a chance to all meet each other, and it's so great that we get to do this and connect this way, and then when we meet, we have big muscle car hugs. They'll be more meaningful.
Yeah.
Meeting people in a fan context sometimes it can be, as an act, like I know it can be like a weird thing, right? Like I remember years ago, my wife and I, on his last tour, we got tickets to Robin Williams. And we bought them online. We'd already seen him on the tour, and then he was coming to Toronto to Massey Hall. And we wanted to get really good seats and sit up front. So we just, paid a shitload of money and got 2 tickets right up front. And what we didn't know is that by ordering them through this site and buying them off somebody else, that they came with a meet and greet afterwards, which was just, like a photo op and all that. And it's so funny. Kelsey and I talk about this story all the time. My wife, huge on Robin, like it was just huge. She actually had a file in her filing cabinet where she kept all these things. Robin Williams, loved Robin Williams, and so we were going to meet, and it was just one of those things where we knew it was going to be brief. What are you going to say? I don't know what to say. I have so much I could say to him. So much. Judi Dench, right, Liz? Like if you got
that's what your
photo op with Judi Dench, it's like what are you going to say? And I kind of let all of it go eventually. I brought a vinyl record of his that I had for years. It was one of his first HBO specials in 1978 or whatever it was. And Kels brought, I think, a cassette of something. And brought all this stuff that dated us a little bit. And we put it down on the table in front of him. And Kelsey also had written something in a card for him.
Aww.
I don't know what it said. She still hasn't told me, and that's her, that's her thing. So she gave him this thing, and of course he was, I wouldn't be a surprise. He was really lovely and open and generous and loves meeting people. And we handed him the record and the tape, and he goes, "Where's the 8-track?" And I couldn't even, I think I laughed, but I didn't know what to say. I just didn't know what to say. I just stood there in dead silence. And then, I at one point he got up, and then we were going to have the photo op. And then I thought, well, I'll mention that we'd seen him in Vegas. And so we had a quick little exchange, but with Kelsey and I, it was very quiet. It was just this moment with him that was too overwhelming.
Yeah.
I had
meeting a child hero like that.
Yeah.
I had one of those, but it was in the Louvre, and it was unexpected.
Oh, yeah.
So we've been around the Louvre, and I thought I'm just going to go off on my own for a little bit, and I went into a little tiny off room where there was just very few paintings, and I was looking at a painting, and a man came up and stood next to me. We were the only 2 people in the room. We were both just looking at this painting. And after a moment, I looked over at him, and my brain went, "Oh my God, that's William H. Macy!" And I ran. I didn't even take a moment to go, "Hey, it's okay." Yeah, I literally ran. So I'm now afraid of meeting celebrities.
Yeah.
Because I'm such a loser.
Oh, you're not.
I am at meeting. I am.
We've all had those moments. Yeah, we've all had those moments. And I refer back to Dirty Dancing when she shows up and she's like, "I carried a watermelon."
Yeah.
That's about all I can say in some instances,
Well, it's funny because usually I have these girls with me when I meet, my bucket list people. And actually, Gallatin, Tennessee I'm in Nashville, Tennessee, but Gallatin, Tennessee is where Henry Winkler was. And I got to meet him yesterday. And he was one of my bucket list people. And he was so super cool. But I didn't have my support group around me.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't run. He was super sweet.
There's so many good. There's a story that I always love telling if we have time, real quick, one of an actor that I worked with from New York here named Joe Grafazzi. And if you guys saw him, he was on Law and Order all in the early years, and he played everything: criminals, judges, everything. And he's a great New York character actor. He's in the Pope of Greenwich Village, and I got this opportunity to work with him, and he told me this story about one of these crazy things, much like Liz's story in a way, where he'd gone to LA for a pilot season or something, and this is back in the early 80s or something, and he rented himself this little car, and anyway, he's driving up through the Hollywood Hills in Mulholland, and his car starts to break down, and he literally has to pull it over, it's blown up, and he's pulling over, and he lands right in front of somebody's gate. And he's just stuck there. And of course, back in that day, of course, no cell phones and things. So he's just stuck up there. So he's buzzing at the gate and buzzing, and nobody's answering. And he's like, oh, man, what do I do? And he's like, do I walk? Maybe I'll go to the next place. He wasn't having any luck. And then it wasn't long before this long car comes and pulls up at the gate. And driver steps out and goes, what's the problem? Oh, my car's broken down in front of your thing, and I'm so sorry. And he says, the window in the back slides down, and Marlon Brando sticks his face out. I know. Like, he loves the Fozzie, his favorite actor, and Marlon Brando goes, what's happening? And Joe goes, I'm so sorry, I'm stuck in front of your. He's like, okay, all right, we'll go in and we'll get. So they pull their car over, they go into the house or something like that. Anyways, Joe's out front, he's freaking out. He doesn't know what he's like, I just met Marlon Brando. This is great. Gets better. They go in. I think that they call someone to come and get it. They call, for him to get some help. Brando comes out and walks out and is walking towards him with a toolbox. And these, I think he had these big wraparound shades on or something. And he comes out like this and goes, why don't you pop the hood open? And so Joe puts it open for him like this. And Marlon Brando takes out like a wrench or something. And all he does is, he doesn't say anything. He just goes in for like 5 minutes and he's just like tapping, like he's doing all these weird things, like knocking around in the engine. And then he stands up and he looks at Joe and he goes, I can't do anything for you. And puts it back in this box and walks away. And there's something so beautiful about that, because there's something so incredibly lonesome about it.
Yeah.
There's somebody who's such a recluse, and I say that Brando, with all the respect in the world, but Joe just, it was the most beautiful, non-spoken, that I had with Marlon Brando, tinkering around in my engine, and he didn't know what he was doing. He was just looking.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, such a great story.
So fantastic. I just love Liz running away from William H. Macy.
All right.
Carol?
Well, I had the opportunity to meet one of my bucket lists this past weekend. I got to meet Greg Nicotero, whom I have been in love with for 40 years. And I was the epitome of cool, and never mind. I'm not going to lie. I was terrible, man. My knees were shaking. My hands were shaking. I was crying. Oh. It was horrible. Thank God Don and Barb were there, because I was like, fuck this. I'm not going to meet him, not in this state, But it was pretty fantastic. And then he ended up seeing us at his restaurant and came over and chatted with us, and then came over and said goodbye to us as well. And so I'm now the new Mrs. Nicotero. So
congratulations.
Thank you. It's a love affair I've been having for years. He just doesn't know about it. So I'm just gonna ask one question tonight. If you were granted 3 wishes, what would they be?
I love this expression.
I love Liz.
And no wishing for more wishes. Sorry.
More wishes.
I wish, this would be my first one, that I had more scenes on From with Liz Saunders.
Oh.
And that is true.
Love that.
Okay, I'm gonna ride on that wish, because then I can keep 3. I'll keep my 3, but I'm riding on that one. So okay.
I'll let you do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, 3 wishes.
It's hard.
You know what? It's funny because there's one that immediately comes to mind. But I don't know, because it's personal. It's about my youngest daughter has been dealing with illness for quite some years, and I wish nothing more in the world that I could, Bridget could wake up tomorrow and have her health 100%.
I get that.
Yeah.
And that would really be the only wish you would need right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I mean, like that's like I can joke about all kinds of things, but right now that would be my number one wish.
Is she the one that had the baby?
No.
Okay.
Okay, and wish number 2 would be that baby, mommy, and daddy move back closer to my house.
Well, we will all definitely keep Bridget in our prayers that she has good health going forward for you, for her and for you guys.
And then I wish that the sane people of the world would start to allow. Hi, that's Kitty. Is that a kitty?
Oh, yeah.
The sane people of the world. Hi, Kitty. I just think we're really struggling as humans in this planet right now.
Mm-hmm.
And some balance for all of us.
Mm-hmm.
Those are good wishes.
Yeah, there's a few people I'd like to send to Fromville.
Oh, I do. Yeah. But I think I would love to see that for us, because I think we're turning in on ourselves and turning on other people unnecessarily.
Yes.
Right.
Absolutely. Scott, what are your wishes?
I mean, what, I'll piggyback on some of that, and I would say, I feel like we were talking about this the last time we were all together, but and I mean, it's something that I'm desperately trying to work on, but I wish there was just more inner peace. I think if we were to draw a line to all of it, if we could start there, then we can start dealing with each other, and that's the thing that I feel like I'm the most aware of, certainly of myself, and then certainly, with some of the things that we just see and we're witnessing. This just complete lack of inner peace, and the thing is that there's so much of it that is, I don't want to open up this whole conversation, but as we know too that, like I give so much thought now too about how much we're still falling out of the pandemic, like how much we're still dealing with our lives, having come out of that,
Yes, absolutely.
That's a big one, so there's that, and I mean, man, if I was to say, and I know this is environmentally too. I mean, there's another one, right, where I just like everything that's, we're just raising our consciousness of just everything that, in terms of what's going on that way. I try to, every day I try and get out in the trees, because Prospect Park is like our backyard here, so it's something that I try to keep it at a certain awareness and try and find that peace and connect with it, and just, hope for us all and for my kid. She's 14, and Liz got kids, and whatever's going to be left here for them.
Right.
Burning house down the road that we don't want to hand off to them. So.
Right.
Kind to one another and kind to nature.
Yeah.
I think it's with a real focus on that, it's going to take a lot. But yeah.
I
think
so first of all, just for the planet, and when I say the planet, I mean not because I so quickly go to humans, but I mean everything on this planet, everything about this planet. We're so intertwined, and to see that we're thriving and not just barely surviving. So many people into a barely surviving. Even if they're not, the mentality of barely surviving. And that goes along with the inner peace that you're talking about, Scott, for me.
I heard something popped up on my news feed today, and it was Bette Midler singing at a concert from a distance. Yeah. And I reshared that on my Facebook, and it's just so poignant, even probably more so today than when she actually recorded it, so if it's been a while, go back and listen to it, and I think you'll find that same sentiment of what you both are saying. So my questions for you is, what is your guilty pleasure? No, Scott, don't even go there.
I mean, so many. I've got so many. Liz, you've got to have a couple.
Oh.
What's your guilty pleasure? Do I know
them? You know what? Guilty pleasure. Chips.
What'd you say? Chaps? Chaps is your guilty?
Potato chips.
Oh, chips. I thought you said chaps. And I'm like,
really,
I just had a picture of Cliff and Chaps.
Yeah.
No. Keep it moist.
Yeah.
Hi, Angela. Okay. You know what? I think it's like really like cranking music and playing the same songs over and over again and dancing like a motherfucker in my living room.
Nice.
I do that. Yeah.
As a guilty pleasure. Interesting. Yeah.
I don't know if I feel guilty about it. I just don't want anybody to see me.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
My guilty pleasure.
Chips.
I would say chips. Yeah, I mean, I'm like. Did I bring this up before? Did I say that the first time around?
No.
You got to get some Old Dutch chips before you've had any Canadian chips. You got to get Old Dutch chips.
Oh, we have Old Dutch in Canada.
No, that's the only place that has them. The ketchup chips.
Oh, you guys don't have Old Dutch?
No, we don't.
Mm-hmm.
I used to smuggle them across the border when I would come up to visit, though.
Because they kind of disappeared a bit for a while, but they're coming back.
Yes.
That's what I had as a kid. We'd get Old Dutch chips.
Yep.
But I can eat lots of them at once. It's a bottomless thing and dangerous thing, and I can do it every night. I will admit that when I get on a roll, then it starts becoming like chocolate, like anything else, right? Like all of a sudden at that time of day, I'm like, chips. Now, I know we just ate dinner, but maybe chips.
No, that's the thing with me with chips. It's like I can stop chocolate. Okay, I can chips. Like,
I love Kelsey.
Kelsey says it's ginger beer and chips for Scotty.
There it is.
All right, so if you're on a deserted island,
Mm-hmm.
what 3 things must you have with you?
On a deserted island?
Yes.
My wife, my daughter, and Liz Saunders.
Aww.
And Liz was like, "There's no way in hell I'm taking Scott with me."
Yeah.
I have like you said 3, and no offense, Scott, but I have 2 daughters and a grandson.
You gotta pick.
And I'd have to take Cliff.
You gotta pick.
But you know what the key word was, right? Deserted island. So nobody wants a boat, paddle, a radio.
Yeah, why y'all just taking people? Why aren't you taking like your guitar, a lighter, a knife, an axe,
a boat?
I think it's because a deserted island sounds kind of nice right now.
Right?
And we're not very practical.
That's true.
But nobody says it.
So Liz would probably take Cliff, her grandson, and her dog.
Yeah. Oh man. And my kids. I need stuff to do.
Well, that would be Cliff.
You keep coming up with these Cliff things.
Yeah.
What's up with that?
We love Cliff.
No, the desert island thing. I mean, music, something that made me for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, this has been a joy, you guys. We've really appreciated you guys coming back on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, it's been a gas. Thank you.
Honor.
Thank you.
And hopefully we'll get all you guys together in person someday, because I know we
Yes.
have tons of people that want to meet you.
Yeah, we're on live on the camp page tonight, and we know Scott's coming in May. We get to see him to the camp, and we're hoping to get Liz to the camp.
Yes.
Yes.
We are working on figuring that out.
That'll be
I
great.
think we will.
God,
I
are
think
you
we will.
prepared for us in person?
Yeah, we're crazy.
Are you prepared?
Oh, it's like not kidding. Harold wasn't kidding about the hugs. Like I'm a hugger. I'm like.
We've got there's hundreds of people that'll be at the camp that are just on pins and needles to meet you guys. And
Wow.
hopefully it does work out, Liz, that you do get to come and join with us.
I think we just need to figure out. It's just figuring out some, me being in Canada kind of thing, and what
Diplomatic logistics. Yeah.
Yeah.
Liz, you and I could share a hotel room, and we could eat chips and play loud music and dance like no one's looking.
Right.
Yeah. I'm game.
We do that anyway down at the camp.
And everyone will go. They came down, and all they did was hang out in their hotel room together and dance to loud music and eat chips.
Yes.
Best time ever. And we'll bring the sable.
Yes.
Bring this in.
We want to bring Kelsey. Yes, Scott, you need to bring Kelsey with you as well.
Kelsey, yeah.
Yes.
You know what? My daughter's now getting into The Walking Dead. That's been the latest thing.
Bring her too.
I think you guys have triggered this thing because I started talking about it. Now I think she's starting to get caught up.
Yeah.
Nice.
Getting into it. Yeah, super exciting. Listen, ladies, as far as all of this, the camp, the podcast, from everything. This is. I'm sure Liz feels I can't thank you enough. Like at how wonderful this is, and all the incredible support and online everything that you guys have been doing for fun. It's awesome.
It's because of you guys.
Yeah, we love you guys.
Absolutely. And
we really, really honor it. We love it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, we respect you guys, and we appreciate you giving your time to us, because we're just four silly ladies in the South, and but we appreciate you. We respect you.
Best kind of lady.
Yeah, and we're very grateful for you guys. So yeah, absolutely.
And I will tell you that what happens at the camp doesn't necessarily stay at the camp. So.
But we'll try real hard to keep it at the camp.
Yeah.
And these things never happen if it wasn't for you guys and your personalities and you being as warm to us as we are to you. So we appreciate that. Yeah. Absolutely love you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
thank you.
Have a wonderful night. We'll be keeping Bridget in our prayers, and
thank you.
Hopefully you get to see that baby again soon.
Oh, he's nearby. He's having a visit. It's that I then have to go out of town. So, but I go home. I'll get to see him a little bit more. So, yeah.
Good.
I can't get enough of him.
We love you guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Give Kelsey our love. Thank you guys.
Kelsey, I can't wait to see you.
Yes,
come back again. We'll have you on anytime you want to come on.
That's right.
I love her videos. They're great. I watch them all the time.
All right.
All right,
Love
good
you guys.
night. And tell Cliff we send our love.
I will do that for sure.
Bye-bye.
Bye.